So I've seen a lot of people complaining about the price of the Tenere 700, and don't get me wrong, I get it. $10,000 is a lot of money. There's no way around that. For me anyways, and for my specific needs, honestly, I think this bike is worth absolutely every penny that I paid for it, if not a bit more even. This is not a sport bike, but it does have some power. And when you hit those corners, it doesn't feel like it's running out of gas like the KLR kind of always did around the corners. And once you get this thing off of the pavement and onto the dirt, it definitely does not disappoint. Woo! There are a lot of rocks out here. What the heck did they do to this trail? Oh my gosh. Woo! This thing is just so much more fun to ride off-road than the KLR 650 was. And again, I don't want you, this isn't supposed to be a KLR 650 bash video. That was a great bike, and it did everything that I asked it to really very well. And it's definitely a bike that I would still recommend to somebody that wants to get into this type of riding. However, the Tenere is so much fun, both on the road and off. I cannot say enough about the geometry of the forks and how easy this thing is to maneuver in sand and mud and gravel and everything you throw at it, essentially. Other than 80 miles an hour, it's not so great at 80. It's a little bit squirrely, but for off the road, I mean, this thing feels so much better than my dad's 800 XT Tiger, which is a much pricier bike. Woo! And the back half of this bike is actually just as impressive, if not even more impressive, to be honest. The anti-squat rear is what allows a novice like me to slide this bike around the corners. Woo! It also has the ability to turn the ABS off, which I always forget to do. And I mean, this has more than enough power off-road to scare you. On-road, I'm kind of to the point where it could be faster, but I'm hard to impress when it comes to that. Where off-road, I mean, this this has more than enough power to get out of control very quickly. Now, of course, this is not going to be a CRF 450 or, you know, any of the real dirt work KTMs. It's not going to feel like a 250 on single track. I mean, it's still a pretty heavy bike. It actually weighs more than the KLR does, but like I said, it definitely feels lighter. And the reason that I think this bike is worth what I paid for it and more is, I mean, you look at bikes like that CRF 450, that bike costs the same as this. And not to say that it's not a great bike. I've never ridden one. You know, I don't know for certain how well that, you know, how much more fun I would have on that, how well that handles compared to this off-road. But I mean, for me, that's not the point. I want something that, you know, I can have a blast on the road, comfortably ride on the highway for over an hour and really enjoy, but then get off-road and, you know, really rip pretty darn hard, for me anyways. And this bike definitely delivers on all of that. And, you know, I'm not saying that the CRF 450 isn't worth it. I'm not saying that the, you know, $15,000 KTMs aren't worth it. I'm not saying that the KLR 650, the redesigned one at $6,000 or whatever it is, isn't worth it. Nope, that was wrong. What I'm saying is, if you take all those other bikes into consideration, you can't beat the price of the KLR. I know that. I'm not saying that this bike does beat it, because obviously it doesn't. It's more expensive. But if you're looking for the same things out of a bike that I was looking for, then this bike is a heck of a deal. I mean, the KLR 650, the old one, the new one, they are an awesome bike and are an awesome price point. But for me, somebody that, you know, wants to have a little bit more fun on the road and a little more fun off the road, that bike wasn't worth it to me anymore, just because, woo, I kind of always wanted something that I could go out on the road and just enjoy cruising, woo, or ripping on the road. And the KLR 650 was fun for that. I'm not saying it's not, but I wanted something a little bit more similar to the 600RRs I had when I was younger. I wanted something that would scare me a bit. And the KLR just could not offer that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's still a great bike for a lot of people, and I mean, I'm sure for the type of person that doesn't really care about on-road performance, the KLR is going to be a great option. I'm sure for somebody who wants something that is going to be more road friendly and you know, better for long hauls, then you know, maybe an XC800 or, you know, an even bigger adventure bike, a BMW is going to be a better option, and the Tenere is going to be something that you don't look twice at. But I just do not agree, woo, with the fact that this bike is overpriced. I think this is the perfect mix-up of a dual sport, an adventure bike, and a sport bike. I mean, this has the engine right out of, somewhat similar to a sport bike. I guess the FZ07 is not technically a sport bike. It's, I guess, more of a standard, but even still, I mean, there are plenty of people that love that bike just for its on-road performance and its fun and its torque. And I've got that in a bike that I can enjoy the pavement on and then pull it straight from the pavement onto the dirt and enjoy beautiful scenery like this. And I think all of that together, definitely for me anyways, makes this thing well worth it. And I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not. No bike really is. No matter what, I think you're probably going to have to do at least a couple things to any bike you buy. So, I mean, I think that type of stuff is just really not worth looking at it. I've had people say that you know, oh, you spent all this money on the bike and now you got to buy accessories for it. And I mean, yeah, that's true, but that can be said for any motorcycle, can't it? I mean, if you're not willing to look past that, then I mean, don't. But if you're somebody that is looking for the same things out of a motorcycle that I was, then I think the Tenere 700 is definitely worth the wait. That's a snowmobile trail. We don't want that way. But get a better GPS mount than I've got. This thing sucks. Probably because it's a GoPro mount. And not at all meant to be where it is. So if you guys are interested in some of the accessories that I've got on this bike, you want to see more of that sort of stuff and see what I think of the stuff that I've done to the bike so far, there'll be a playlist down in the description of this video that you can check out that's got all those install and review videos. So I guess what I'm really trying to say here is, in order to be as happy as I am with the Tenere with another motorcycle, I would really need two bikes. I would need something that I could have just as much fun out on the road as I do with this, and then something else that I could have just as much fun as I do on the trails with this. Obviously, owning two bikes, I mean, it maybe has its perks, but for me personally anyways, being able to enjoy the road on the way up here and then rip on the trails when I get to them is just absolutely priceless for me. And the Tenere definitely meets the mark in both of those things for me. I mean, yeah, it has its flaws, every bike does, but I think, to be honest, I think very few people that like to do the type of riding that I do will be disappointed with this bike. It is the most fun thing that I have been on, and just a great mix-up of road and off-road ability. So I'm darn happy with it. If you guys own a Tenere, or hey, even if you don't, let me know down in the comment box below what you think of them, and whether you're trying to buy one or not. Hopefully you guys that are interested in getting one can get a hold of one sometime soon. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and let me know down in the comment box below, or hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this every weekend, then click the Swanky Cat logo down at the bottom here, click the bell after you're subscribed, so it lets you know anytime I put a video out. Other than that, guys, if you can get out and enjoy this beautiful world, even if it's maybe raining a little bit, make sure you get out and do that. It is beautiful out here. Otherwise, if you can't, check out some more videos up at the top. Take care, stay safe, and stay swanky. That's not the trail.